This is Barry Zalma speaking for Claim School Incorporated's blog, Zalma on Insurance. Today we speak about why one should never, ever even consider breaching a condition precedent in a policy of insurance. Protective safeguard endorsements are a promise that sets forth a condition precedent for there ever to be coverage. And when a protective safeguard endorsement requires that the insured maintain an automatic fire alarm system that reports to a central station, and the insured fails to do so, that insured is not keeping the promise made. In Mama K's Diner, LLC versus Amco Insurance Company, the California Court of Appeal on January 17, 2023, dealt with the fact that the trial court granted summary judgment to Amco Insurance because the insured did not maintain a promised automatic fire alarm system. Mama K's appealed, of course, and Mama K's Diner appealed because there was a grant of summary judgment, and the case involved a dispute over insurance coverage for Mama K's restaurant, which was damaged by a fire. Mama K's sued Amco for breach of contract and breach of the implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing, contending the damage was covered under the insurance policy it bought from Amco. Amco denied there is coverage because Mama K's did not have an automatic fire alarm as required by the policy. The trial court granted summary judgment for Amco, concluding the damage was not covered because undisputed evidence showed that Mama K's failed to maintain an automatic fire alarm as required for fire coverage. This is just a simple thing. It's a promise. A condition precedent is a promise. And Mama K's promised to have a fire alarm, and Mama K's didn't have a fire alarm. And that may be why when the fire happened, the whole place burned to the ground. Mama K operated a restaurant called Mama K's Diner out of a building on Main Street in Visalia, California, from April of 2016 to December of 2018, the day of the fire. As part of the insurance policy application, the broker submitted a form that erroneously stated Mama K's had a central station fire alarm. TOPA, her original insurer, issued Mama K's an insurance policy with a protective safeguards endorsement conditioning coverage for fire damage on Mama K's maintaining an automatic fire alarm system, and that fire alarm condition followed through to Amco. The policy insured Mama K's business personal property, and the protective safeguards endorsement provided, quote, "We will not pay for loss or damage caused by or resulting from fire if prior to the fire you fail to maintain any protective safeguard as designated at each premises by symbol in the declarations and over which you have control in complete working order." The protective safeguards endorsement also included the following notice in bold capital letters, quote, "You risk the loss of certain insurance coverage at premises designated in the declarations if you fail to maintain any of the applicable protective safeguards listed by symbol in the declarations for each premises." A warning shouting out to the insured, have a fire alarm or have no insurance. And yet, on December 26, 2018, a fire caused substantial damage to the restaurant. Mama K's submitted a claim to Amco. Huff spoke with an Amco adjuster and told him the restaurant did not have an automatic fire alarm. In fact, the restaurant never had an automatic fire alarm. Instead, the restaurant only had an automatic burglar alarm system monitored by a security company. The burglar alarm system keypad had a button marked fire, but the button had to be pressed by someone to trigger an alarm. Since the fire happened at 1 a.m. when no one was inside the restaurant to press the fire button on the keypad, there was no alarm sent. Now, the Court of Appeal first dealt with the breach of contract cause of action because Mama Kay's thought that they had coverage. The Court of Appeal concluded the grant of summary judgment on the first cause of action was proper based on the theory of breach alleged in the complaint. In the insurance context, a condition precedent refers to an act, condition, or event that must occur before the insurance contract becomes effective or binding on the parties. Simply stated, the promise made to have an automatic fire alarm was the beginning. And if there was no automatic fire alarm, Mama Kay's failed to fulfill its promise, and there was no coverage. The undisputed evidence in the record showed that the policy contained a protective safeguards endorsement requiring that Mama Kay's maintain an automatic fire alarm to be covered for fire damage, and that Mama Kay's failed to maintain an automatic fire alarm. AMCO, therefore, was not obligated under the policy to pay any benefits under Mama Kay's claim. The maintenance of the automatic fire alarm was a condition precedent for fire coverage which Mama Kay's failed to satisfy, and therefore Mama Kay's cannot sue AMCO for breach of contract. Because AMCO didn't breach the contract, Mama Kay's breached the contract. The most important fact remains that the breach of contract cause of action clearly states Mama Kay's theory of breach is that the policy's express terms provide coverage, and she's just wrong. Then the court looked at the bad faith cause of action and concluded that there can be no bad faith if there is no breach of contract, because to establish a bad faith claim, the insured must show that 1, benefits due under the policy were withheld, and 2, the reason for the withholding the benefits was unreasonable or without proper cause. Since summary judgment was proper on all causes of action against AMCO, there was no basis for an award of punitive damages against it, and therefore the Court of Appeal affirmed the judgment. Conditions precedent are important promises made by an insured. In this case, Mama Kay's promised to maintain an automatic fire alarm system as a condition of coverage for fire losses. Mama Kay's failed to do so. It only had an automatic burglar alarm, and it failed to keep its promise. People insured, just like insurers, must keep the promises they make in the insurance policy, and therefore Mama Kay's recovers nothing from her insurer for the loss Mama Kay's incurred as a result of the fire. This video was adapted from my blog, Zelma on Insurance, which is available free to anyone who clicks on the URL zelma.com/blog. And you can also subscribe to the blog so you'll be notified of every blog posting, usually 5 a week. And you can also subscribe to the videos on rumble.com and youtube.com. And if you found these videos and blog postings to be of interest and use to you, please tell your friends and colleagues so that they can also subscribe and accept the benefits of these videos and blog posting. You might also wish to consider subscribing to my Locals community and my Substack publications, where for a small fee you can get more extensive coverage about insurance and insurance claims matters. Thank you for your attention.